today from Volition is Cameron Reynolds. Cameron, good to see you. Welcome back.
Great to be back, Andrew.
Talking your third quarter earnings here, Cameron. First off, just as far as the numbers are concerned, talk us through the financials.
Yes, we've yet again managed to strengthen our balance sheet during the last few quarters. We finished the quarter with about $21 million in the bank, and that compares to about 17 at the end of last year. So very strong and allows us to really reach the milestones, which I'm going to go through.
Indeed. Well, I saw from your recent capital markets day, preparations are well underway here for the new Q vet. Just give us an update. Where are you with that?
Yes, very excited to be able to say today we're launching our first product in a couple of weeks, November 30th. It'll be in the GI lab, which is at Texas A&M. It just shows how fantastic our platform is now. We're just shipping them kits and they can run it. The GI lab then will advertise to a wide range of vets throughout the United States, focusing in on Texas, so potentially thousands of vets. The market opportunity is really large, which I'll get to next, but they're going to sell it for about $122. So to the pet owner, that should be about $200 or a little under when everything's taken into account, which for a very accurate test like ours is, I think is very reasonable. As you remember, it was a 97% accuracy, which is an 87, 97, depending on which of the two cancers. So really exciting. And we get about $45 of that. And there's about 22 million dogs. We're targeting at older dogs, older than 7 years old. Dogs are like humans. They tend to get cancer a little older, and 7 is reasonably getting old for a dog. So that's about just over 20 million dogs in the US. And when you add to that the 6 million that get cancer, it's a very, very big addressable market.
So quite a few activities planned around this by the sounds of it.
Yes, it's not just enough to make it available. We're starting with this lab, then aggressively expanding. But we've done a lot of work. We just did a key opinion leader report, which came out a few days ago. We've been consulting widely with those in the know, veterinary oncologists and normal vets. We're doing a lot of lunch and learns. Dr. Wilson Robles has really been reaching out to the community. It's absolute need in the market. The vet market is completely bereft of any really good cancer tests, particularly blood tests. And this is about a third of canine cancers. So a huge market, and we've done as much warming up as we can. This is a beta launch. We're just starting in one GI lab and expanding. We think get it right in that lab, but we're doing a lot of work to get the test known out there. And as I said, we look to expand aggressively once it's really bedded in there.
And we said we'd circle back to it, but just how big's the market opportunity for this?
Well, if you take the selling price of $200, and there are millions of dogs in the US, 22 million in the target market at least. That's a huge market. It's a multi-billion-dollar addressable market. We're not quite sure what the curve is going to look like and how much of that addressable market will actually take, but it's a really big market, and I think we have an excellent test and excellent partners, low cost, easy to use, drop of blood. So we're very hopeful, but we're not doing guidance at the moment. We want to be conservative and just see how it goes in the first few quarters. But it's a huge potential market, and I think we've got a great product.
Just on the human side, Cameron, you're putting a lot of emphasis on blood cancer. What are some of the latest developments here?
Well, I think what's important to remember here, Andrew, is it's exactly the same assay that we've had in the dog cancers. It was actually originally developed for the human blood cancers, and we've had fantastic results in both dogs and in humans with the same assay for the same blood cancers. So during COVID, we thought, let's keep the simplicity where we can launch something on a very simple platform with amazing results. Let's get that done. So we're working with a group called DXO in the US on a large clinical study of about 1,500 people to launch an FDA study. The first data readout we'd expect by the end of next year, and the FDA approval process beginning, and then the end of the following year, 2022, for the full trial. And this is a big potential market. Blood cancers are quite well known, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma obviously is very well known. About 77,000 Americans get it per year. And it's a trouble for doctors because the symptoms are quite non-specific. I'm feeling tired, some sort of feverish, which of course can be a lot of people. So we think the market is huge. And what does it do for the doctor? What does it tell the doctor? It really helps the doctor decide who should go to biopsy first, who's a really good high risk with those non-specific symptoms. So I think, again, a massive potential market. It could be given quite widely, very simple, very low cost, all of our things, and exactly the same assay as we're using in the dog market. So really exciting to be able to do both of those at the same time.
What about your lung and colorectal studies?
Well, they're proceeding. Obviously, during COVID, the colonoscopies, the study, the Early Detection Research Network, funded by the NIH in the US, has paused collection. There's not that many colonoscopies going on, and to be safe, they've paused the study. So that's in process. It has been going forward in Asia. Taiwan have been collecting both for the lung and the colorectal. So we should have a lot more data on that in the coming year. They're more complicated tests. We have had to use more assays to get the results we need to do in colorectal and lung. So it's very tough to launch in those during the pandemic. But we're still doing blood tests for blood cancers. And the vet market has actually counterintuitively gone up during COVID by about 30%, where the cancer screening has gone way down in humans. I guess it's a factor where we're home more often, we notice our animals more often, and we're paying more attention to them. So the vet market's gone up. So we're just going with the times right where we are today. They're both, we think, very, very large potential markets. We're launching where we can do it with a very simple test. And we can do it now because we have a very stable, robust platform. I think we've talked many times, Andrew, we spent a lot of time developing this to be really robust, routine, reliable. It's all of those things now. And it's all the things we dreamed about. We could just ship kits and run the tests in a completely independent lab with great partners to get great results. So it's really going to be an exciting time for us.
You mentioned COVID-19 there, of course, still a big issue globally. Have you been able to do much product development in this area?
Yes, actually, we've done a lot. And actually, it's opened up, I think, potentially the biggest market of all, which is netosis. It's not that well known. It's been really worked out in the last few years. But what kills you in COVID is the same thing that kills you in influenza and sepsis. It looks very strongly like it's a very driven by nets, which are the large chains of chromatin the body throws out to trap the virus, which is great unless it gets into a feedback loop and too much is produced, which is what they very strongly believe fills up the lungs and the other organs in all of those conditions. And there's no good diagnostic or prognostic for any of that. What we measure is not COVID nor the cancer. We measure the body's the chromatin fragments, which are released from both of those. So again, a very simple assay. We've had great results, which we've released. We're expecting more data in the coming few months, month or two, before the end of the year. And I think, however COVID goes over the next few months with the vaccine, I think it's a fantastic opportunity. We can add a lot of value by measuring the nets, which is, I said, what kills you in all of those. So we'll have a lot of data on that, and it really fits into everything we do. It's exactly the same platform. So again, very exciting, and a lot more data coming up soon.
And as far as expansion within Volition, how are things with Silver One and your other plans?
That's gone very well. Our team in Belgium have been expanding, and we thought it's good to put the production in another facility. We're in the process of building and fitting out a 10,000 square foot lab. Given that our key components are actually quite simple, and we intend to license quite widely once we're up and running, and for our own products, it's much better and easier to be in control of that. And given the pandemic and the lockdowns, the supply chains have got a bit wobbly, so making our things ourselves is absolutely the right way to go. And it also brings down the price a lot. So we think we have big plans for Silver One. We've just hired our first sales manager, who's a tremendous experience, and will help us drive revenue, we think, from our own kits, which we're selling through Texas A&M and other for the blood cancers and throughout Asia, and also reagents. We make great nucleosomes and great antibodies. We can package it all up ourselves. So that'll be a big part of our revenue going forward, we think.
So a lot happening here, Cameron. What are your ambitions for the fourth quarter?
Well, we have a lot on. So, of course, the launch of the first product, which I think we expect to go reasonably well. We're not quite sure what the build-up time will take to get traction, but as I said, great product, great partners, great results, and a huge need, and a very, very good margin. All of that work, all of the COVID and netosis work, which we talked about, which is obviously ongoing. We're launching our blood products through the trial we just announced in the US, and our CE mark product in Europe. We're also we're leveraging our Asian footprint to work on the vet cancers and the human cancers as well. And the marquee trials, the lung, the colorectal are very much ongoing. We're doing a lot of work on the background for the assays so that when all this is finished and we can resume the trial in the US and the others, we can also hopefully launch some very good products in those areas as well. And none of these are niche markets. I mean, every one of these is a huge potential market. And I think we have a very special, what our team really hoped and dreamed about was having a platform that could be used in a wide range of areas. And that's exactly what we have. Our IP is really broad. Our team's been fantastic in developing all of that. So it's going to be a very exciting year for us. And I think we can really make a difference and make a name for ourselves in 2021.
Good to catch up, Cameron. Nice to see you again. Thanks for your time.
Nice to see you again. Thanks for your time, Andrew.